comfortable in the uncomfortable. I'm out there and it's fucking raining and it's sleeting and it's snowing and it's just pelting your face, and I have a smile on my face because it's like, how many times do I get to experience this during my normal life, right? And the bugs are just eating you, and I love the sweat and the salt of my face. And it's just dripping, your face is crinkly, and like I've got stains here from the sun, right? And it's just like you reach here, right? You know, people look at me at 51 years old and they might say he doesn't have his shit together. He's still out planting trees. But one of the things that keeps me coming back, and I said to myself this year, I will plant until I'm in my 70s. Because you get out here and your soul is changed.
Well, I believe it's our responsibility as humans to put back what we take down, and we rely on the forestry industry, and that's essential. But what comes with that is putting the trees back in the ground, so that we're not just going to take. I come home and I feel like I've done good work, no matter how many trees I've planted. So there's a lot of value in that.
I can't believe I just was dropped into this community of 35 people that are all of a sudden my friends, and you don't get this opportunity anymore because we're so isolated and away from things. And yeah, it's a world I don't ever want to give up. I want to plant until I'm 70. You know, even Kevin said, "Kenny, you don't have to highball anymore. Just put in." I'm like, "Well, Kevin, what am I going to do for you? Want me to put in 8 boxes a day? What am I going to do for the rest of the day? Like sit out there and socialize? Like if you're a planter, you don't have an on and off switch. You just have you just go. Like if you do it right, you're up at 3:30. Light comes up around 3:45. You're planting by 3:50, and you plant until the sun goes down, which is 10 o'clock. At least that's here. And if you're going to do it, you're going to use every single hour, because that's what Guinness allows you to. No more than 5 feet apart, and it was just a furrow that went down, and then there was that same amount empty, full of grass, and then another one. So I just had to go up one side and down the other, and it was like a rototilled garden. I had to have checkers, right, from outside the company, check the trees. I had to score, I think it was 97%.
So there's a couple different events. How many trees can you plant in that time?
Yeah.
And then how many trees can you plant in a 24-hour period?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Let's go up to the Arctic.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24 hours, holy shit.
My goal would be to plant the whole 24 hours.
My big one is that I want to be able to go from hour 1 to hour 24, nonstop, full on at the best pace.
Hopefully a lot of trees.
And I think that this ground's going to allow for it. I just got to keep my mind on the task for the whole day.
Do you have any advice for them?
Figure it out. Really, figure it out. I figured it out. There's a lot that goes into it. I've had, through the years, so many phone calls every year. How do I do this? How do I do this? And it's like, well, I figured it out. You figure it out. And there's a lot to figure out.
So I'm planning on breaking the well record, so the Guinness World Record of planting. Hopefully doing over 15,000 trees, and then maybe my goal would be to go for 18,000. We'll see how it goes.
You know, it's like an Olympic event. You have to think this
team.
thing out. You need a team. You have to think this thing out.
I'll be planting my trees. I'll be bagging my own boxes. I'll be putting the trees in my bags, unwrapping myself the trees. So I'll do everything like Kenny did. I'll make sure to follow the guidelines that Guinness sets.
And so it's the grand scheme of the whole thing for me is just becoming the best I can be. And I really think that tomorrow will be my opportunity to really prove that.
The big part of the record is also to break our own record and break our own limits, and then try to push them as far as possible, and then, yeah, hopefully break the record at the same time.
It's a big day. It's a big day and it's a long day, but I feel ready for it.
I am ready. It is something, so I've been preparing for a long time.
I love this.
You love this.
I love this. Yeah. woke up, I felt really good. The nerves hit me right away. Just pure focus, really, is where it went, where my mind went.
Really nice to start planting. The land was actually pretty good. And I started on the berm, like on the road, so it was easier to see since it was still a bit like dusty, so it's not like too light out.
So we followed suit, and that was a really, really good idea. It helped me start with a really, really good pace.
The berm was nice to plant, and it was nice to start there. We planted there for an hour maybe. We did one road and came back to the starting point, and then I started planting the land after that. Maybe 850 trees an hour at the start. So just a good warm-up to like get used to the land as well.
It's not about speed at all. It's about having, having a consistent boom, 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 being able to maintain that.
When we got into land and we started planting the peas, started going a bit faster, maybe like 1,000, 1,100 an hour.
200 trees, trying to get them in every 13, 14 minutes, and we stayed consistent with that pace until 9-10 hours in. That was when my biggest I hit probably my biggest wall. There was a couple hour span there where I slowed down for a bit. My mind started to sort of sway. I was getting fatigued. We were able to bounce back and regain the focus and get back on the pace that we wanted to hold.
And 9 hours and 20 minutes, I had 10,000 trees put in the ground. I kept planting around 1,000 trees an hour for like the next 5 hours, and then at 14 hours and 51 minutes, I had the record broken. My crew's all there. We had a live going with the camp, so the camp like watched it. It was really nice to know that, and then yeah, really, I was really happy about this. Maybe 10 seconds of like hugging my crew, and then I just kept planting. For me, like that record was good to break, but then I had like bigger number in mind, so I wanted to keep planting. I planted another few hours, and then it started to get a bit darker.
So the night plant, it went really, really well. Probably as prepared as we could have been, not knowing what the block looked like and how green it was going to be. There was 1 or 2 people sweeping the block for flagger. I had another 2 people in front of me scoping the line, trying to make sure that I was staying on track with where I was supposed to be planting. We were definitely running out of land, which was slightly stressing me out, but we were able to find a nice open piece of land for my last bag up. The last bundy felt phenomenal. It was awesome that I was still able to keep a good pace at the end there. July 17th, 2021, I planted 18,500 trees in 24 hours.
Yeah, finished at 420 with my last tree, and then that was over 22,000 trees, 22,060 trees.
I had a competitor across the road. He did 13,380 or something. And Mike was sitting there, and he had margarine Tupperware margarine things full of ice and water, and he had his hands in it.
I was just in disbelief of how many trees you planted.
But same for me. I mean, you did so well too. I mean, it's amazing.
I really appreciate it. Yeah.
My limbs were I had tendonitis all the way up my arms, both arms, and tendonitis. My toenails were all falling off.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you planting tomorrow?
No.
Well, anybody can be a highballer. I really think they can if they have the right training, the right mindset, and we're here to teach them that. It's like a locomotive. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.